Welcome to the Casual Nerdcast. Woo!
He's so lame.
I am your host, Justin. Joining us for this evening is Amal.
I still think he's lame. You, not me.
And Andrew.
By lame, did you mean like not cool or like he can't walk?
Why not both?
Hey now!
You're
Hey
a rock
now,
star?
Because one is subjective and one's kind of objective.
I think both are pretty objective. But that's okay, I'll let it slide because he's our host. He's a very gracious host who invited us on. I'm kidding. I don't even know why I called you lame, Justin. I like you. You're cool.
A real gracious host would have snacks.
I have red wine, so if you're over here where I am,
that's what it takes for Justin to get through this podcast.
it's not enough. I need more.
And then he spits it all over the computer. Whoop, no more podcast.
Anyways, in honor of GDC 2015, I am playing Game Dev Tycoon, which is literally just a game about floating bubbles and making video games. Yeah. Making video games is a lot harder in real life. Trust us.
I think we rambled about that the last couple times too.
Alright, so before we start this, I need a company name and a player name.
The Casual Nerdcast.
Casual
obviously.
Nerdcast
Is the name of the company.
is the name of the company. And player will be...
Casual.
Casual.
Filthy casual.
Filthy casual.
Shit, I was kidding, but okay.
Alright, it'll be a male filthy casual. Alright.
Quick, just before we there's this one trivia fact I love about that game is people sometimes developers will put little things for people that pirate their game, and in Game Dev Tycoon, if you play a pirated version of that game, slowly it'll say people are pirating your game, so you lose X percent of your profits, and it'll keep going up until it's 99%.
Yeah, it's great.
All right. So the name of our first game shall be.
Stop pirating my games.
Stop pirating my game. All right. So let's jump right into the podcast because that's what you're here for.
I don't know, man.
So Andrew has some quick fire topics, mostly involving GDC. So, Andrew, I believe you have like a list, I guess.
Yeah, this is just a bunch of. Instead of having just one topic today, we're just gonna go through a bunch of smaller topics.
Cool.
Yeah. Only a few of these have much to do with GDC because GDC's very high concept, and some of these are. Anyways, we'll just get into it. For example, I think something that I thought was kind of interesting was Rock Band 4 got announced.
Yes. Yes.
Rock Band 4.
My dreams and prayers have been answered.
All right,
What I find interesting is they still continue to support all of the previous DLC that you buy.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
Just pretty awesome. I mean, sucks for me because I own Rock Band 1 and 2 on the fucking PS2. Didn't even have an online store.
But I think they're trying to make it so that those songs. Actually, there's probably a lot of licensing stuff, so maybe they can't.
That's
Wait,
right,
it's just
because they expire.
Yeah.
No worries. It's good news nonetheless, ain't it?
Yeah, to be honest, I'm kind of ready because what was it? Activision was like, "Yo, people love Guitar Hero. Let's make 6 Guitar Heroes every year."
Oh my god.
They wrecked the music genre into the ground with that.
But I think I'm kind of ready. It's fun. It's a good party game. It's like Mario Party. It's fun.
I agree.
Plus, they said, if I'm not mistaken, it's called Rock Band 4 so that there's no confusion, but it's going to be one Rock Band, and it's going to be a base that they build their DLC on. They're not going to release a new game every year.
Yeah.
They're going to do DLC packs instead, which I can totally get behind.
That's a better idea.
Oh.
That's a much better idea.
I agree with that for the most part. In that case they might as well just release it free to play or something.
Why do you say that?
So they could just make all their money on DLC.
Right, but the instruments still cost money, and the songs themselves also cost money.
That's true. Right, because there's an initial base of songs
they'd be
already.
taking a huge loss on that. Here, have all of these songs that we paid for free.
I'm going off of it mostly on whatchamacallit, the free to play model, kind of get your foot in
understand.
first. Yeah.
But at that point,
That's not a bad idea. What if they just only had? Yeah, that's not. What if they only had like 5 or 10 songs?
Right. That could work, but at the same time, I feel they might be not wrecking their brand, but they might be damaging it a little bit because it's going to be a AAA game, and free-to-play games aren't really considered AAA yet, with exceptions of things like maybe PlanetSide and a couple others.
So guys, I made a game called Stop Pirating My Game. It's a fashion action game.
Sweet.
Yeah.
We got a 1, we got a 3, we got a 3, we got a 2. Oh well.
Out of what?
10.
Oh, shit. I was like 5? That's not
They
so
just
bad.
don't understand.
They just don't
Our game.
understand.
Just don't understand.
Don't understand.
Shit. Now, thing is, with that in mind, Andrew, I was reading that Activision may be coming out with another Guitar Hero to compete. Less cartoony, more realistic-ish. I don't remember where I read it. I think it was on Kotaku this morning. Which slightly worries me. I mean, competition is good, but if we don't want a repeat of what happened in 2007. Like, ours is better. No, ours is better. We came out with another one. No, we came out with another one.
Yeah.
Scratches the difference.
And like, I don't really see much competition besides like song selection.
Correct.
'Cause I think that's what people care most about.
Right.
It'll be interesting. Hopefully,
little bit-
Activision's learned.
A little bit the peripherals too, but I mean they're cross-compatible really, so it doesn't really matter. You can use whatever
Yeah.
you want. You can use a third-party kit. You can use a freaking real electric guitar now, and drums. So I mean, Oh, and yeah, the Guitar Hero did say they were going for a more realistic instrument model too, not just animations and gameplay. So
I'm interested to see that because wouldn't that conflict with Rocksmith?
Rocksmith came out second. Guitar Hero 3 already did that with the pro mode on the guitar and drums.
Right,
Yeah.
but the way that you play the peripheral is like an actual guitar.
Yes, that was the case in Rock Band 3 already.
Really?
Rocksmith, yeah, you could buy the regular Stratocaster controller, which you can see in the back over there, or you could buy the Fender Mustang, which cost $150, and it was a real guitar, which plugged into Guitar Hero 3. Sorry,
Right.
Rock Band 3.
I did not know that. My apologies.
It wasn't nearly as sensitive as, say, an actual like $1,000 guitar or whatever, but it was very much playable. Same with the Rock Band 3 Pro drums and Pro piano mode. Sorry, keyboard mode. You would still have to use their peripherals or the Guitar Hero peripherals, but
Wait, there's a keyboard in Rock Band?
3, yeah.
Damn.
Get with the times, man. I've never even played it, but I was like, I would have bought a PS3 or Xbox 360 just for that. And then they kind of stopped supporting the store, and I was like, all right, fuck it. And yeah, you can. I don't know if you can plug in a real keyboard or if the 5 keys become full keys because there is another peripheral for it. But they've already made leaps and bounds on it. What Rocksmith did was you can use any guitar. You don't have to use their licensed replica guitar.
Yeah. Evan really likes that game.
Yeah, I do
It's
too.
like-
I don't even own a guitar yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting at. So that idea of real instruments already existed. Ubisoft just refined it into a simulator almost. An insanely fun one, don't get me wrong, with Rocksmith.
Well, after Justin sabotaged all their major franchises, they
Yeah.
needed to.
I didn't sabotage Activision. I sabotaged EA and
Yeah,
Ubisoft.
That's what we're saying.
That's why
Ubisoft,
they're like-
Oh, Rocksmith.
Yeah.
he sabotaged them so they came out with something good.
That's what we call a callback, a joke callback to last week.
He's getting old, man. He's got to have his wine just to keep up. We know this. Which is funny because he's the youngest one here.
Oh, is he?
Am I?
Probably. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Anyway, so it's not that this sort of thing is new. It's
Yeah.
just Rocksmith made it more mainstream because it had such success. And for the first time, it had success in the PC market, too. It wasn't just a party game anymore.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm excited, and I don't even own a next-gen console. I'm going to be supporting it. I just hope Activision have learned, as has Harmonix, don't do a lowest common denominator race to the ground again because it'll ruin a perfectly good franchise for the second time.
Yeah. Hopefully they just make their platforms and add DLC. Like
Right.
you said.
Right. And then the only difference becomes licensing and the types of songs they choose.
Mm-hmm.
Considering even in the original Rock Band and Guitar Hero games, there was quite a bit of overlap. I'm trying to remember stuff like Enter Sandman from Metallica, one of the great songs in both games. But Guitar Hero focused more on the overall guitar parts, whereas Rock Band focused on like the party parts. They didn't have as long of a solo, and you had a better like support part. Sorry, not support part. You had a better rhythm section, stuff like that.
How does that? It's the same song. How does?
Because you've got those same 5 buttons. Guitar Hero gets a solo that's like twice as long. You get longer lead parts. Whereas
Sense.
Rock Band switches between rhythm and lead back and forth. So at least that's the one song I remember. There were a couple others, I'm sure.
Man.
But they both had to have licensed it, obviously, gotten the stems for it,
Yeah.
obviously, stuff like that. So I'm excited.
Not bad. Not bad.
I don't know what's going to happen with it. But
Yeah. Does that mean I can take out all of my old Xbox 360 stuff, or
what do you mean?
like all my instruments? Can I still use those, or?
Yes. At least for Rock Band, they're making it backwards compatible in terms of the instruments.
Oh no, sorry, I have Guitar Hero stuff. Never mind.
I don't know what the hell Activision's going to do.
Yeah.
For all we know, they'll switch to a yearly model. Guitar Hero 2K15 360 no scope. Legendary Mountain Dew edition.
I think we've done enough advertising for Rock Band.
Yeah, go buy it or don't. When it comes out, maybe.
Or don't.
Don't buy Guitar Hero. Or do. Whatever. I just enjoyed them. They were my, not childhood, but whatever comes between childhood and adulthood. Until my drum controller broke.
Puberty.
All right. So speaking of GDC, actually, there is also Nvidia released their game console.
Yeah, they're also
The game stream thing.
it's a full
No,
fledged
it's a console.
console.
It out benchmarks Xbox One apparently.
Confusingly, also called Nvidia Shield. Nvidia
Yeah, now I'm
Shield.
just confused. Explain, please.
Basic, like from what I understood, they have a standalone set-top box. I think it runs Android, Justin.
That is correct.
Yeah,
really?
and basically it's like, yo, give us money every month, and we'll let you play these games.
Well, that's one.
Oh.
So there's three ways of the Shield working.
Yeah.
So traditionally, Shield has always done in-home streaming between your Nvidia card. I believe it is 600 plus.
Yeah.
And then, so that basically means your computer is on and it's doing all the work for you, streaming it to your Shield. That's what Shield has always stood for. As of recently, Nvidia has made breakthrough on a new mobile chipset called the X1, the Nvidia Tegra X1, which and they've benched it, and they said that is equivalent, if not better, than the Xbox 360.
Oh, wow.
And alone, so a lot of developers have been making Android APKs specifically for this reason now. Some games include Crisis 3, actually, Borderlands 2, some like actually serious not Borderlands 2. I believe
Witcher 3 is going to be playable on it.
Witcher 3 is a different case. What they showed for Witcher 3 was Grid. So before I move on to Grid, because it's a bit of confusion because they were kind of jumping back and forth.
There we go. I have heard about that.
Yeah. So
Wait,
basically, they basically actually had Crisis 3 running natively on their console, 60 FPS, 1080p.
On the Tegra X1
without grid.
Holy crap. Okay.
Without grid. So for any of you who was now at least wondering what's grid, the way the CEO kind of approached it was saying that grid is like it's like a Netflix for your video games. So basically, you press A on the game you want, wait about a minute, sets up the stream, bam, no installation, you're basically playing the game, which is fantastic.
So it's like on live, what that was supposed to be.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like
On
6
live,
years
but
ago.
maybe not a failure?
Hopefully.
Wasn't
Hopefully.
On Live supposed to be subscription based though?
Yeah.
And this is what's
This
the
is-
model for this?
Yeah.
Right
I'm
now, I
get-
believe it is subscription as well. Not many details have been released regarding Grid, but the idea is actually kind of along the same idea as Xbox One, which I find very interesting because the Xbox One is all about we have these cloud servers that's going to do a bit of the computing while we have your Xbox One that's doing all the things for now. For now, the Xbox One's gonna suck, but later on, it's all about this cloud computing stuff. This idea, this Nvidia console fully embraces that, which I find really interesting.
Yeah. And I think it's becoming more and more feasible for people. Like the PlayStation also has PlayStation Now,
Right.
which you stream just PS3 games. It's your PS4.
Yeah.
Just play them. So I guess it's which is crazy to me because just a few years ago that sounded nuts. Like that was like some Star Trek shit. But apparently everyone's doing it.
Right.
Everybody's doing it.
Yeah. Like it's as someone who has like no real understanding of how the internet works, it's like astounding to me.
Magic.
Ah, pretty much.
It
What was it? Any technology sufficiently advanced enough to the untrained individual is indistinguishable from magic.
Yeah,
That was a quote from Civ 5, I think.
that game is awesome.
Hope you're not misquoting now.
I'm probably misquoting it.
Yeah, so that's kind of cool. It's one of those things. Oh, and at a different event, the Nvidia CEO dropped out the news about the Titan X,
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
which is like
that's super GPU.
12
Found
gigs
it.
of video RAM.
Any sufficiently advanced technology is
That's
indistinguishable
more
from magic.
gigs of RAM of like just regular RAM I have.
Oh, my condolences.
Wait, what do you mean? You have 1 gig of RAM?
I've got like 8 gigs, I think. I'm running 8.
Yeah, but this is VRAM.
Yeah,
I
that's
know.
what he's saying. There's more VRAM on that card than the amount of RAM on his computer.
Oh, jeez. Okay, I hadn't looked at the specs. How much is it? 8?
12.
It's 12. Yeah.
12 gigs of video RAM.
What the hell do you do with that? Play in 8K?
I
Seriously, man.
know. Like
4K
literally,
could be-
there's just gonna be like 9 gigs of RAM just sitting there doing nothing.
a 4K fully modded Skyrim setup, or it's the only game that comes to mind, works fine on a 4 gig VRAM card. What the hell do you do with 12?
I don't know.
8K. Triple 8K. I'm just saying shit at this point. Did they announce price point for it at all?
Everyone's speculating like 1300.
One of your kidneys.
Sounds about right, actually.
Yeah.
More or less the same. Depending on the condition of my kidney, really, I can't say. Did they announce the pricing for the third shield? Apparently there's a third fucking thing named Shield.
The Shield console
Yes.
Yeah.
is $200.
Oh, it's not bad at all.
So
Yeah.
that might be the one. I think I read that and I was like, that might be the one thing that makes this not dead on arrival. Because typically I find that there's just not enough brand awareness for certain things.
Right.
But at $200, it's like just above impulse buy point. For
Considering
like,
if we... Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, like it's not like, oh, I'll just like $100 is kind of like, oh, all right, I'll give this a try, and that's like just barely above it.
Considering if we go on Steam right now and we look at their fancy new announcement, they're looking at how great it is. Can I talk about this? Are we able to?
Yeah,
Sure,
yeah,
sure,
Let's move on to
sure.
the next. Steam announced a whole bunch of things.
I actually did not see any Steam because I just feel so disenchanted by the idea of Steam Machine right now.
That's what I'm getting at. In comparison to the Nvidia Shield, if it's priced at $200, that's fucking fantastic.
Mhm.
That's like the Moto G of consoles, really. $150 price point, sort of thing. Whereas the Steam Machine's coming in, the cheapest one is an Alienware with unannounced specs because, hey, marketing. And it just goes up from there. They're supposed to compete with consoles at that price.
What is an Alienware? That means it's going to
Oh,
be.
no,
at
no,
least-
no, 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 no. The Alienware is the cheapest one, if that
That's
tells you anything.
ridiculous. That is ridiculous.
Wait, wasn't there a $50 Steam Machine?
What?
No, the Steam controller. Oh yeah, so the Steam controller has been finalized as well.
Right.
Which is $50.
Right.
Oh,
Certified.
really?
So, Alienware's Steam Machine, starting at $479.99 US dollars. Okay, that's not bad at all. Let's click on the store page. Let's look at the specs. Intel Core i3 dual-core processor. Which generation? NVIDIA GeForce GTX. Which card? 4 gigs of DDR3 memory. Okay, 500 gig hard drive. That's it. That's all it says. There's no specs. So if that's starting at 450, I mean, does that, you guys get what I'm getting at? Considering
Yeah.
that's not console pricing. That's the absolute cheapest one. It's on the top because their cheapest one is sub 500. All the other ones, Asus, Digital Storm, Falcon Northwest, $2,000 to $5,000, $700. Like I don't know what they're trying to target with this, but I remember it originally being media center / big TV in living room PC.
Yeah.
Sorry, two things.
Yeah.
Number one, I just came up with I'm making a game engine right now for my company, and it's called Surreal Engine.
Cool. And the second thing?
take a look at the link that I just showed you guys. It's regarding there's something that so
Steam
basically I can kind of see where Valve is going now with this.
Yes.
So this is a $50 device.
Yeah.
Called Steam Link, which basically streams your PC games to your
Yeah, it's like a
television.
Chromecast for games, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Makes
so in actuality, what I'm seeing in my opinion now is the Steam Machine basically targets people who do not own a decent machine at all. Because if you look at this, like if you looked at the Steam Machine previously, what was in there? We're talking Titans, 780 Ti's, and now that the 900 series has brought down the prices of GPUs, I wouldn't be
A
surprised.
little bit.
Are you kidding me? The 780
Dude, look
Ti was like $800, $900,
dude,
and now like
that's if you build your own. Have you seen the Steam Machine prices? $800 for the next box, which has an i3, a GTX 750, and 8 gigs of RAM.
serious.
You tell me if that's worth it. And the $1299 pre-built has an i5 4460 and a GTX 970, and a 512 gig SSD for $1,300.
Seriously, what
It's not
happened?
It's not marketed to people who can build their own computers, because we can build that for under $800 with an i7 too, probably. But it's marketed towards people who want to game on PC, but don't know how, and they want a pre-built, which isn't a piece of shit from Futureshop or Best Buy or wherever, right? However, at the same time, Steam machines, correct me if I'm wrong, were designed to compete with consoles. You can buy one of those for $400, usually in a bundle. No?
Yeah, I assume you went back when they announced Steam machines. I completely did not see what hole they filled.
Right,
And
that's what I'm getting at. If they're filling a hole, it is the pre-built PC hole. Sorry, pre-built enthusiast PC hole, but those already exist from companies like Origin PC and CyberPower and iBuyPower and stuff. And these are the ones who are bringing out the Steam machine. So what are they doing different? They're building an exact same computer with Steam OS instead of Windows on it and charging you $100
Yeah,
less
it's
for
not
it.
even a computer. It's like less than a computer. It can
True.
do fewer things than your regular computer.
Because it has Steam OS on it.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't get it.
And if at that point you plan on using it as a full computer by putting Linux on it, you might as well build your own machine.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Correct me if I'm wrong again.
Yeah, the more I think about it, the more I feel like I've been like the Steam Link sounds like something I might pick up.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that sounds like a good idea.
If anything, that should have been the only idea, along with maybe the Steam controller that interfaces with
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
To be fair, these are third parties. These are just SteamOS is free. Anyone can use it. Like if I go to China, pick up a manufacturing team and build a phone and slap Android on it, I am free to do that. Likewise, SteamOS is free. Anyone can, and I'm pretty sure you don't need to pay licensing fees for it or anything, right? So these companies who make gaming PCs anyway, Asus, Alienware, Falcon Northwest, I'm just going down the list. They're like, whatever, we'll capitalize on this niche, possibly unsuccessful market because we do this for a living anyway. It's not Steam who's doing this. These are third parties.
That's true.
Yes.
And
I guess.
the, what was it? The beta units that only like 300 people or whatever got of the Steam boxes, those were made by Valve, were they not? They had like the signatures, Valve logo, and a bunch of other really distinct stuff. And they had fucking Titans in them.
Yeah.
Right?
Actually, I can see that. It just might be the fact that like the third parties just feel like they I guess deserve more expensive branding, whatever it may be.
And these are enthusiast brands anyway. Like I'm seeing Zotac on here and Asus on here. They make this stuff regardless, and they make graphics cards and stuff.
That's true.
So if anything, Steam is, because of GDC and a couple other things, they're coming forward with marketing and advertising for the future. The VR headset, the controller, Steam machines, and these companies already have them in limited quantities or whatever. But it's still advertising, isn't it? To kind of raise brand awareness that Steam is doing things, even if they're not for you.
So what you're saying is that these people are making all these Steam machines as a waste of time. That's
Not necessarily.
Kind of. That's
How do
my
you think?
opinion.
Wait, that's like saying Alienware shouldn't make any money because people should be educated. You
No.
grossly overestimate what people can do.
No. That's not because at least Alienware creates like computers.
Fair enough.
Full-fledged computer. Like
Right.
Steam, it's like I don't it's like it's like going from a regular car to a car that you now have to pedal like a bicycle, but it doesn't have the benefit of being a bicycle or the benefit of being a car. It's just like in between, and it doesn't really do anything.
I guess I wouldn't go that far, but I mean, at this price point, it is very much starting to become like it. Yes, because a bike is 500 and a car can be 5,000 or 50,000.
Yeah.
So I guess that analogy sort of works. At the same time,
Like I don't
you are
see
still
like,
free to
who would you like recommend this to?
no one.
Exactly.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. But at the same time, I wouldn't recommend an Alienware rig to anyone either. I would say bring it to me, pay me, and I will build it for you for cheaper than they will, as long as I don't have to do support after. Or learn and do it yourself because you'll save $500-600, if not more. So I mean, the same people I would not recommend Alienware to, they're the same people I would not recommend this to. You kind of get what I mean?
A little bit, yeah.
But you are right. This is a step below buying a pre-built gaming PC because it is a gimped gaming thing that can't do much else, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I think I understand you better.
I just don't understand Mr. Newell gave in.
Particularly at the price point. Like I was gonna compare it to the what the hell is that thing called? The Shield console,
Yeah.
but that thing is $200. Even if it does nothing but play 20 games, at $200, like you said, it's basically impulse buy territory, right? This not so much. When the cheapest one comes with an unnamed graphics card, and it's still $500, which is a couple hundred over the base consoles or 100 over a current gen console with a game bundle.
Yeah.
So it's
We'll
cheeky.
see how it works out. We'll see.
Yeah.
Time will tell.
Yeah.
If it works out at all.
Steam Link sounds cool.
Absolutely.
Stream.
And
Did they say anything about it other than how much it'll cost?
They're like, it's $50,
That's
and
it.
it'll solve a bunch of problems about streaming in your house. So
Right. This is, you won't need another computer. You just need to plug this thing into your dumb TV and it'll turn it into a smart TV, like a Chromecast, but for games.
yeah,
And you can use the Steam controller with it, I'm assuming?
Yep.
Probably. Okay.
Yeah. which
is
looks
not
cool.
bad at all.
Which looks cool. But in other news, I think this is something that you might like, Ammo. Metal Gear Solid 5 release date announced.
Yes.
Kind of MGS5 news was dropped this week. September
Oh.
1st.
Well, September. Yeah.
Yeah.
That.
In Europe, you suckers. You were born in the wrong continent because you have to wait a few, like 2 weeks later, I think, an extra
Well, no,
week and a half.
Oh, so in North America, consoles get September 1st and PC gets September 15th, which is same time as Europe release.
Yeah,
That's funny.
Sucks to be you.
Want a collector's edition on PC, damn it. Or
yeah.
because like I have a PS2. It was MGS3 was the defining game for it. If I had a PS3, MGS4 would be the defining game for it. But I need that modding support, man. What people did with Ground Zeroes and what they can do with the Phantom Pain is just like, I need it.
He's got a cool arm. He's got a cool robot arm.
Oh, speaking of that
So-
robot arm, in North America, the collector's edition is a half-size robot arm.
Comes
In
with
Japan,
them, yeah.
It's a full-size robot arm. I don't know if that's a joke saying Japanese people are small or...
No, I think it's that Kojima's like, yo, Japanese people are the bomb.
They're my crew.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm way more excited than I should be even. But like Ground Zeroes blew me away for the 5-hour game that it was, and like I need more.
Yeah. I
need-
like the fact that it was kind of like it's Peace Walker right now, to be honest, is probably my favorite Metal Gear Solid game. 'Cause I
There's
love
nothing but good things about it.
on the PSP, and it's a little more like that. You play as Big Boss. Funny story. People think Solid Snake is the main character in Metal Gear Solid. When you think about it, he's only gotten like 2 games.
What was it, 1 and 2?
Yeah, he's in 1. He's in 4, and he got the intro to 2.
Oh yeah.
That's it.
Is he not the main character?
Technically he is. It's just funny that he's not the main character in at least half of his main games.
Wow.
It's an iteration of Snake, but not the same one.
What? How? I don't.
Considering MGS 1 and 2 take place in what, like 2015, 2014? I forget.
Yeah, something
Something like that. Because Metal Gear Rising takes place in 2018.
Man, Metal Gear Solid 1 is such a good game. It is such
One?
Yeah, I
I
love
was a little bit of 1. I need to relive it, but I could just emulate it, couldn't I? I might just do that. Shit.
Anyways, we're not here to talk about Metal Gear Solid.
Yes, we are. What are you talking about? He just said I'd like it. I can talk about it all day.
Metal Gear Solid 5 is coming out. That's pretty cool.
Woo!
Justin, have you played many of those games?
Define many of those games. Just Metal Gear Solid, or just
you played 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or
Any of
5?
them.
I have not played a single one.
He's only excited for MGS5 because of the trailers and because of what it looks like.
No, I'm excited because it actually is coming out for PC.
Oh, okay, good point.
And it
Which,
looks
yes.
gorgeous on PC. Like
Absolutely.
And it looks just like an overall fun game. Like
It absolutely is.
It'll be a great moment for me to kind of break into the Metal Gear Solid series, and
Yeah.
Which is funny because it might just be the last one.
Kojima said, Kojima, he's like, this is the last Metal Gear Solid.
True. But
Okay.
He also said that about the 4th one.
yeah, I was gonna say there's a Kotaku article, or some other article saying like here are the moments when Kojima said that this is his last Metal Gear Solid game, and
Doesn't, do you have a PS2?
I do not.
Damn it. You want to borrow my PS2?
Maybe
I'll give you MGS3. You need to play through it.
I'll give you my 360. You
can play that on the DS too. The 3DS.
MGS3?
MGS3, yeah.
Really?
You can play Metal Gear Solid 3D.
Oh, that thing.
You remember that? It was like a launch title.
Well, I don't have a DS, so I've never owned any pocket consoles. But yeah. No, I only said that because it's they all have the same quirky vein and style of 1, 2, and 3. They just, lots of technological advances, lots of gameplay advances. You're not stuck to that really shitty 1 and 2 camera anymore, which I can really appreciate. And it's just they're overall absolutely phenomenal games.
Yeah.
And I am so excited. I think I mentioned at our like, what was it, the Game Award things, like if this game had come out, it would be my game of the fucking century. I don't even need to have played it.
Yeah, as crazy as that like franchise has gotten, that series will always have a special place in my heart.
Absolutely. I said that I don't think you'd started at the podcast yet. I said that in the very, very first episode.
Oh,
like that game is like my not so guilty pleasure. I need it. I need more.
That series is pretty cool. So it's just good to hear that they don't come out
on PC, especially because Kojima's expanding.
I'll play it on PS4.
I'll have a PS4. Not everyone's rich like
I
you.
don't want to be like, hey, okay, I gotta come in and download all my drivers and shit. Okay,
It's funny.
DirectX 49. Okay, that's cool. Just click yes. I don't know.
It's funny because Ground Zeroes actually did have a problem on launch. If you
Yeah.
had any other mouse drivers installed, the game would just start spinning wildly once you got player control. I had to uninstall like my old wireless mouse driver, a bunch of HID compliant drivers, just to play with the fucking controller. But it
Actually, it's like that on consoles too. Like whenever I play a game and I don't have to install a day one patch, I'm like,
yes,
it's the Lord.
good point.
I like.
Plus, what's that?
I like buy a game, put it into my console with zero intention of playing it, just to install the patch. I'm like, okay, I gotta go to work or like eat lunch. Or something.
I'll be back in like 8 hours. At least those DirectX patches on PC are fast-ish. And you know they're coming.
I just made a mystery RPG called Mysterious.
Mysterious.
This one better get more than 3 out of 10.
Yeah, put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into these.
I made an airplane simulator. I got like 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
What was it called? Airplane Simulator?
Yeah.
Sweet. Also, Andrew, one thing to note. I mean, you said you're already getting on PS4, but Ground Zeroes, 1440p native textures, I was a happy man. Because 1440p monitor, it looks splendid. So, I mean, they put a lot of effort into this damn thing. And it shows. So, a mini happy, excited rant on Metal Gear Solid over. You can continue.
It's Philip Spencer, the man in charge of Xbox, who we have endorsed as a pretty cool dude. It was funny. He addressed the DDoS attacks of the Christmas times, and he just had some interesting things to say. But
Like what?
well, to be honest, it's not that interesting. He just basically talked about it. But like, I liked.
To us.
He's like, oh, it was all me. That's what he said. But I actually kind of liked what he said. Is he's spoken with Sony and Nintendo regarding the attacks, and believes working together is beneficial for all parties. I don't think it's. And this is a quote. I don't think it's great when PSN goes down. It doesn't help me, Spencer said. All it does is put the fear and distrust from any gamer that's out there. So look at all of us together, as this is our collective opportunity to share what we can, but we're learning blah, 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 blah. So this is pretty much like the Avengers of gaming.
The Avengers of
Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo are coming together.
Oh my god.
DDoSers.
The what monsters?
The DDoS monsters.
DDoS monsters.
Actually, interesting that you mentioned that, because what I noticed before was the Nvidia CEO, the way he phrased Grid was more so towards trying to eliminate exclusivity and aim more so on unity, in the sense that to basically have exclusives be ported over to Grid in order to allow anyone to play it. So like, so like maybe for instance, like Metal Gear Solid, for instance, that's a great example. I'll bring it back just for you, Amel. So basically, how Metal Gear Solid all have been in Sony, Sony's
started as a Nintendo thing on the NES.
Way back, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's primarily
Solid,
yeah.
Solid was thought of as a.
But it's always been kind of like a Sony thing, kind of like any Naughty Dog game. Now, imagine the older ones, like say like anything PS3 or below, ported over to Grid. Now all of a sudden, like, because I remember I read an article saying that what Grid's lacking is like exclusives.
Right.
But in my personal opinion, I think the way he was phrasing it is the fact that if they had exclusive games from like different generations ported over to Grid, just like older ones, that in itself might actually be its own kind of exclusive strategy that can kind of actually be a console seller.
Right. You can't get this game on anything other than the original console and ours.
Yeah.
How would he go about doing that, though?
Well, I mean, a lot of developers have been saying that it's pretty easy to port over to Grid.
Right.
And I mean, like, if everyone's doing it with ease, well, then they're fitting it alongside their development cycle. So
Not sure I understand, though. What about... Sorry, go ahead. You first.
Actually, now that I think about it, maybe Witcher 3 keeps getting postponed because of Grid.
I was gonna say, like, not sure I understand, but what about licensing issues? How would that work?
In what sense?
Well, I think they would just... Well, I think they would just have to figure that out on, like, their own. Like, there's no one... But I that aside, like, I like the idea of, like, just one console, to be honest, in the future. As opposed to, like, I would love it if Nintendo announced tomorrow, to be honest, we're getting out of the hardware game. We're just going to make awesome games that are super cool and a little wacky. So, like, and if Sony and Microsoft one day, I don't know, they, like, if one beats the other, or if they sort of collude and, like, not collude, that's a bad word, like, compromise together. And say, yeah, they work together and, like, we'll make one console to try and sell more games. Like, I like the idea of exclusives not being a thing and just good games that are good games.
Yeah.
So maybe, like, maybe he's onto something in the future.
Yeah. Maybe Grid is the future. Who knows?
Grid is the future.
Or maybe that's just the Nvidia fanboy just screaming at me saying, please.
Stop it. Suppress fanboy.
What if this is how Skynet becomes a thing? It starts with Grid.
Okay.
It starts with Grid.
Skynet is already a thing.
Fueling Skynet.
Skynet is already a thing. I mean...
Google?
Yeah. Google has bought AI companies. Google has bought robotic companies. Google's ready.
Google's like mantra is
welcome our robot overlords. Bring on the apocalypse. I'd rather Google do it than anyone else.
The more the older I get and the more I learn, the scarier Google becomes to me. Like, man, even Bill Gates, like a month ago or something, was kind of like, yeah, we should maybe be careful about AI, like artificial intelligence. And he's Bill Gates. Like, if it's just some Yahoo wearing an aluminum.
He was just some Yahoo, lol.
It's like, whatever. But he's Bill Gates. He's kind of smart. He knows what he's talking about.
Kinda smart.
No, he just kind of found all this money lying around, you know.
He's throwing some ones and zeros together.
Google's logo or motto, at least, used to be, I don't know if it still is, "Don't be evil."
Oh yeah, I remember those days. Google.
What are they? Are they no longer not evil?
I don't know. We'll see. That's my motto. We'll see.
We'll do it live. We'll fix it. We'll fix it post production.
So anything else come out of GDC, Andrew?
Yeah, VR is a big thing, but to be honest, I don't know much about it. And
Yeah, I don't know anything about the
I
Steam VR.
I actually, the more people talk about VR, the more it's like, eh. What I think I'm actually more interested in is AR, which
Mhm.
I'm being a hipster by saying just throwing abbreviations at your face. So
Augmented reality.
augmented reality. That's actually something that I'm more interested in. Specifically, when Microsoft demoed their HoloLens,
That was pretty cool.
like I like the idea that, VR, but I mean, like, to be quite honest, VR in many cases there's not much of a dynamic to it. It's just a different peripheral on your first person game. And a lot of developers are probably giving me like dirty like looks that are saying, "What, Justin? There's a lot more than that." But like, yes, I understand. But in terms of like the user experience, to them, it's just a different peripheral. It's like it'll feel kind of cool controlling your head, but I mean, I think it's a kind of a gimmicky kind of thing. With regards to AR, however, it just seems a bit more. Well, in my personal opinion, obviously, like it feels a bit more expansive. That we're developing on top of our existing world.
Mm-hmm.
That we're adding other more interesting dynamics.
It's the Iron Man thing where he like does this.
Does what? Sorry, I didn't see.
Yeah, he's just like swiping around like holograms and all
Yeah,
that.
it's
kind
like
of
it's
stuff.
the Minority Report that we all want to connect to be. It's like interacting with technology with your hands, like interacting with the virtual world with your physical body,
right?
As opposed to sort of like dumping yourself into the virtual world through VR.
Yeah, exactly. And like I find that like in terms of, I guess you could say, in terms of utility and entertainment, it could be great.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And it's definitely a completely different experience, because now instead of you being focused on, your 360 degree of viewing things, like it's like your entire room or whatever it is becomes a video game.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of interesting things that can come out of that.
To be honest, if someone gave me like a real Iron Man thing, I would do like the most boring like stats job.
Asks.
Yeah, just take numbers from this column and put them here. I would do that if I could.
Well, you don't want to accidentally blow up their house, do you?
You
gotta do boring stuff.
Yeah, I would do that with like these virtual blocks. I would love it. It'd be so cool.
It would actually be cool, even if you're doing boring stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know anything about their VR offering currently, other than they partnered with HTC. Sorry, I'm talking about the Steam VR. All I know is they partnered with HTC and bleh. Oh, and that they're going for an open concept rather than Oculus owned by Facebook, which is doing everything closed, and we no longer know about their development cycles or dev dates and stuff. To my knowledge. So, I mean...
Yeah, like... Yeah, it's... I don't know. We all thought that getting, it is what it is, right?
It is what it is.
It's hard to tell. Like, some companies need that extra funding, and as a result, they have to get it from big companies, but the big companies want to keep them all to themselves because they want to feel exclusive. So,
right,
it is what it is. It's
who knows?
What can you do?
What can't you do?
Yeah, don't get bought by the big companies. That's what.
Or do cash out and live the rest of your life in relative peace after retiring at the age of 25.
That seems
be
to be
like Mojang.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say like Notch.
Not Mojang. Yeah, that's what I meant.
Mojang's still alive and kicking.
Man, that guy, Jay-Z was like, "Yo, I want to buy this house. This is how much money I'll pay for it."
Notch was like, "Nope."
Notch was like, "Nah, I'll pay more."
Why?
It's crazy. He's just so like Swedish dude. He's like, "Yo, I'm gonna make a game where you put blocks together."
A really poorly coded game, mind you.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's not get all up in Notch's grill. He's still a cool dude.
He is.
Fedora wearing cool dude.
He's an amazing story of just. Fuck, man.
That's not what he's a story of. I'm sorry.
Man, That guy. Anyways,
Anything coming out of GDC?
there's like VR is the biggest stuff. Nvidia and Valve. So we hit most of the GDC is still going on while as we record this.
Oh, I thought it was finished.
Did it?
I think it's like the lingering amounts. Like there's probably nothing major gonna come. If there is anything major, everyone's probably so tired at this moment. It's just like it probably would have.
All the good stuff's done. Whatever, fuck it.
Yeah.
Like in terms of consumer announcements, that we hit like the biggest stuff.
Right.
There's some like high concept like developer stuff because it is a conference for developers.
So yeah, since you guys have been relatively following GDC, what's the thing that kind of excites you the most that you're looking forward to see later this year come out, basically?
Steam Link, because it'd be cool. And the what was the Nvidia one called?
The Nvidia Shield?
Fuck. No,
Nvidia Shield console?
Oh no, what's
Grid?
Grid's
Grid?
built into the Shield.
Yes.
Grid seems to
Then yes,
only work on Shield things right now.
Okay, then that. I'm not gonna buy it, but it would be cool to see it.
Yeah, the Netflix for games thing is kind of cool.
The what? Sorry.
It's like Netflix for games.
Right. That's actually it's a very good comparison.
There's some like conferences I watched like I read like an interesting conference about these two people who were basically talking about how video gamers aren't actually as bad as we perceive them to be. Like they basically did a survey of like a bunch of high school and middle school kids, male and female, of like would you prefer playing as a male or a female protagonist, or does it not matter? And
Right.
It would like the way we perceive it. I think people think it's like everyone wants to play male characters, but it was even the boys were like, I don't really care. It was
Right.
pretty even throughout, which was cool.
I care, and my answer is female.
Yo, that ass though.
Justin wants to always play a female character.
It's just like I live as a guy every day of my life.
I feel you.
It's boring, you know. It's like
Also, they're very generic. The in-game actors for said guys, sorry, except for like Shepard. He was awesome, both male and female.
But even in that, Jennifer Hale was a much better.
I was just about to say that.
You cannot.
Just about to say that.
I tweeted to Jennifer Hale saying like I'm gonna make it my life duty to play every single game that Jennifer Hale has ever been in, and she actually favorited it. And I was like yes.
Yeah, I love Twitter. People actually
man.
respond to you. It's cool.
The same way with what's her face? Shit. Gray Delisle. She's Morphe. Azula.
Wow, she's in a lot of cartoons.
Yeah, and a couple
I
games.
think this signals that we're done.
Yeah, actually, Andrew, did you say what you were most excited for?
It would be like that survey thing. It's not even like an announcement. Really.
You're just really excited for a survey.
Yeah, I just love hearing about developers and how they make their games, and how like these sort of conferences do. I think influence not the games that'll come out next year, but the games that'll come out in like 3-4 years.
Yeah, that's for sure. For me, I am very excited for Titan X to see how this will shape the next round of NVIDIA cards. Or whether or not this is like the optimized Maxwell, and then maybe a newer line comes out. So I'll be interested to see how that kind of pans out and stuff. Because I've always been shocked by how well Maxwell runs. So now to see like a high end power saving architecture is like what?
I'm curious. Titan's not designed for gaming technically, is it?
It's technically designed more so for research.
Okay, that's what I was wondering, because like the original Titan was not aimed at gamers. It's just gamers bought it because hey, the biggest and the best.
You had 14 gigabytes of DDR496 RAM.
Well,
this is where Andrew pretends to be technical.
It had XXLRs.
technically,
Maxwell.
Justin, you sure that's the right word?
Technically.
I'm an expert.
XXL what?
I'm an expert.
You do know GDDR5 is what you wanted to say, right, Mr. Expert?
No, DDR2, Dance Dance Revolution 2. That's
Oh, sorry, I misunderstood. You know, easy mistake to make.
Yeah, silly man. Dance Dance Revolution 5's not even out yet, man. Like
coming out with rock, it comes bundled with every Rock Band 4.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Can you imagine if Rock Band started bundling in like DDR pads and like it's like you can be like backup dancers and like
For a fucking Rock Band.
Just
Hey, who
Dance
knows?
is like one of the biggest selling games, surprisingly.
No, but it's all like shitty pop music.
Yeah.
what if the lead singer or like the guitarist is like now you have to dance and the Connect just turns to them or like
There is in Rock Band 1, 2, and probably 3, in the non-vocal bits, the singer got to bang on the mic as a tambourine.
Oh yeah.
Now instead you get to dance.
Actually, I like singing is the thing. Singing in Rock Band is the thing that I hate the most, but also love the most.
Why is that?
Because it's so fun, but I like. You have to get in front of all your friends and sing.
I used to do two birds with one stone. When we only had 3 people, I'd drum and sing at the same time, and when those vocal parts would come up, I'd just start blowing into the mic. It works. It would throw me off time horribly.
what I used to do was I taped my microphone on the side of the Guitar Hero box and I tipped it over so that way it actually stands. And I was playing like lead guitar while like singing.
Dude, I wore a hoodie, zipped it up, and put my mic right here. And yet I've got like
Huh.
four of these things now. Oh goodness.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that means we're all, like, I think we're done.
Oh, I'm
Oh.
glad right at the end of the podcast, I released my first game that is that one scumbag who gave me 9 out of 10. Everybody else gave me 10 out of 10. The game is called Werewolf Stuff. And it's a game about where you're a werewolf.
Oh, that's the genre where you are a werewolf.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes, that is basically it. All right. So, now that I moved to a new office, the saga continues.
Next time on the Casual Nerdcast.
Yeah,
The company,
right.
not
We're
the
not
podcast.
we're not playing this anymore.
The company, not the podcast.
So yeah, what is the thing that excites you most about GDC? Let us know in the comments, tweet at us. And I think that's it. That does it about us. So thank you for watching this far. Yeah.
Buy Rock Band 4 or
Lame.
don't.
No, just do. Wait. Say that again, Andrew.
Buy Rock Band 4 or don't.
Buy Metal Gear Solid 5, no question.
No, or don't. We're not sponsored by either of those
Or
companies.
Yeah, Kojima,
give
give
my-
us some money first.
I'm gonna give my own personal recommendation. If I get paid,
I don't
I'm
know.
not
I don't know. I don't know where these personal recommendations tip to a certain thing or not.
oh damn it.
Animal's wearing the money hat.
Yeah.
Kojima's like, yo, we gotta
Animals,
get
yeah.
that casual sponsorship. Got endorsement.
Yeah.
All right, good
We
night.
target that one person.
Yeah.
All right. Good night.
Good night.
It's fun.